In today's tutorial, we're learning how to make this floating sneaker effect and animation in Canva in just a few minutes. Now you can do this with any type of picture or product. In this case, I've generated the image using Midjourney. And for that, I've used the prompt, a completely white Stan Smith style sneaker floating in the air with no background. And we're starting from a blank canvas. Now first we want to change the background color. So select the background and go to the color wheel. Now scroll down, and here you want to select a nice gradient. Scroll up again and click on the color wheel, and here we can change the settings. I want a circular gradient with the light in the middle. If you want to swap the colors around, you can always do that here. So you switch between in and out color. The blue is a bit too dark, so I'm going to select the dark blue and drag it a bit more towards the light side. For the light blue, I'm also going to change it a little bit and play around with the color until I have something nice and light in the middle. And this is what we want because we're going to add our element here, and this naturally puts the attention towards the center, so that's what we want. Next we want to add a text to the slide, so go to title, and here we type in sneakers. Could be your brand, could be anything. Increase it in size, and change the font to something nice and condensed. I'm going to use Anton. I'm going to make it a bit larger, so it almost fills the entire screen. Select the text color, and make it white. Now we want to add a nice text effect, a glow effect. So select the words, click on effects, and add the neon effect. Here you can see it's quite a lot, so it's quite intense. And for that I want to change the color of the text to something a bit lighter. Now it turns blue, but we can make it white again by going to effects and then increasing the intensity to 100. This way it appears to be white, but the glow is still a different color. So that's what we want. Now we're going to add our image on top. So we can either go to elements and here type in sneaker, go to photos, and then select any of the sneakers, or you can drag in your own images. I'm going to add the sneaker to the slide and then increase it in size. It can be quite large and overlapping with the letters. I think right here it will be good. Now we want to add some shadow to the slide, so go to elements and look for shadow. Go to graphics and select one of the circular oval shaped shadows. I think this one will fit best with the shoe, and I'm going to reduce it a bit and place it underneath. Go to position, and now of course we go to layers and drag it underneath the shoe so that it's below the shoe where the shadow should be. You can play around with the positioning, so either you want it touching with the shoe or you want to give it some space. Both are perfectly possible. I'm going to drag the shoe a bit upwards and create some space between the shadow and the shoe. Like this, I'll select everything and drag everything upwards, including the shoe. There we go. I think that looks good. And now we're going to animate this slide. So for that we go to the letters first, we go to animate, and here we want to choose a nice effect. I'm going to go for a neon effect, so we have that flickering effect on the shoe. Select the shoe, go to animate, and here we want to create a new animation. Of course this is the beginning position, and if we now drag it down, we will drag it off the screen. That's not what we want. So we're going to first drag the shoe upwards until it's outside of the slide. We want to keep the selection available, so if we release it too high, we can no longer select it, it disappears. So we always want to have the selection on the slide. Now go to animate, create animation, hold shift and drag the shoe downwards. Drag it downwards a bit further and then drag it upwards again. If we now release, we can see the animation, we have this little bounce effect. For the speed, we can increase it a bit. And then we want to have it on smooth. That looks quite good. Click on done to keep the animation. And now we go to the shadow, animate, and here we can just do a rise animation. And let's close this tab. Let's right click, show timing. And here we can have a look at the different timings. You can zoom out or zoom in to increase this effect. And now let's see the sneakers, or the word sneakers, that can start from the beginning. Select the sneaker itself, and that we can reduce it, wait a few seconds. Select the shadow, and that can come after the sneakers. And now let's preview what we have here. So if we drag the cursor to the beginning and press play, we see the word and then the sneakers flying in. I think the word, we can play around with the intensity, the neon effect, and maybe make it a bit more intense, that it goes a bit faster. There we go. And now let's preview. And this is how you can make this really cool floating sneaker effect in Canva in just a few minutes. If you want to learn more about Canva, make sure to drop a follow and watch the video on the screen right now.